everyone, my name is Aishwarya Kamal, and today I'll be giving a brief introduction on dependency injection in Android. Let's start with the agenda for today. So today I'll be talking about what is a dependency, dependency injection, common ways to do dependency injection, advantages, alternatives, libraries, how to choose the right technique to manage app dependencies, and finally the conclusion. What is a dependency? A dependency is when one object depends on another object. Let's take an example of a car manufacturer who is creating their own engines, tires, etc. So here they are dependent on all these other items. Basically, the class car has a dependency of class engine and class tire. Car and engine are tightly coupled. Class car uses only that particular engine and tire. So if they want to use any other type of tire, such as tubeless tire, then they would have to create two types of cars instead of just reusing the same car. So this was about dependency. Now I will talk about dependency injection. The concept behind the dependency injection is inversion of control. Dependency injection is a design pattern where the dependencies are injected from outside instead of creating them. So let's take the previous example of the car manufacturer. This time the car manufacturer is outsourcing the engine and the tires from other companies and not creating them on their own. So now these companies are providing the dependencies to the car from the outside. So if we want to create a tubeless tire car, then the tires will be provided to the car manufacturer. Similarly, if we want to create an electric engine car instead of gas engine car, then all we need to do is pass in an instance of the electric engine subclass, and the same car will still work without any changes. So I just talked about dependency injection. Now I will talk about the most common ways to do dependency injection. The first one is the constructor injection. In this, we pass the dependencies of a class to its constructor. This is always preferred. It is always preferred to use constructor injection wherever possible. So where construction injection is not possible, like in certain classes such as activities and fragments, field injection is used. Here, the dependencies are instantiated after the class is created. So I just talked about the most common ways to do dependency injection. Now I will talk about the advantages of dependency injection. So firstly, reusability of the code. So as we saw earlier with the dependency injection, we were able to create a tubeless tire car and an electric car using the same old car. All we had to do was to pass in an instance of the electric engine subclass and the same car would work. But if we didn't use dependency injection, then we would have to create two types of car instead of just reusing the same car for electric engine car and gas engine car. So the second advantage of using dependency injection is ease of testing. When the class is not managing its dependencies, to test the class we can pass in different implementation to test different cases. For example, fake tire and fake engine. The other advantages include reduction of boilerplate code, loose coupling, and ease of refactoring. Because the classes are no longer dependent on other objects, the dependencies are simply provided to them. So I just talked about the advantages of using dependency injection. Now I will talk about the alternatives of dependency injection. Service locator. Service locator is nothing but a singleton class that creates and stores dependencies, and then whenever it is asked, it provides those dependencies. So here the classes X, Y, and Z are getting their dependencies from the service locator. And the service locator can be used both for the regular code and the test code. So in the regular app code, all these dependencies are just the regular app dependencies. Whereas for the tests, we can just modify the service locator to provide the test double versions of the dependencies. So next is manual dependency injection. Manual dependency injection is nothing but injection of dependencies manually. So in this case, we would be manually writing the code that would otherwise have been automatically generated by dependency injection frameworks like Dagger. Next, I'm going to talk about the most common dependency injections libraries. RoboJuice, Butter Knife, and Dagger are the examples of common dependency injection libraries. Dagger is mostly preferred because the code is generated at compile time and is more efficient. Dagger creates a graph of the dependencies in the project that it can use to find out where it should get those dependencies whenever they are needed. So I just talked about the common dependency injection libraries. Now I will talk about choosing the right technique to manage the app dependencies. There are several techniques for managing the app's dependencies, like manual dependency injection, service locator, or Dagger. So this table here summarizes when these techniques should be used. If the app is small, it is okay to use manual dependency injection. Service locators should also be used with small applications as they scale poorly, and it also affects testing because they rely on singleton object. Dagger should be used to build both medium and large scale complex apps because it is built to scale. So today we learned about what is a dependency, dependency injection, common ways to do dependency injection, advantages, alternatives of dependency injection libraries, and how to choose the right technique to manage app dependencies. So in conclusion, I would say that dependency injection is not as scary as it looks. It is important to be aware of Dagger's benefits and the basics of how it works before you can use it in more complicated scenarios. Just keep moving, you will get there. So that's it from me. Thank you very much. I hope you could take away some useful information with you today. Stay safe, everyone. Bye-bye.